Welcome back to the channel, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. So, socket series episode number 4. Hope y'all been enjoying the series. Today we've got the Sunex half-inch drive stubby impact socket sets. So y'all stay tuned and we're gonna check them out. Appreciate it. Alright guys, so here we got Sunex tools, part number 2673 or SXT-2673. This is the 15-piece half-inch drive metric impact low profile socket set. So now Sunex has had this one for a while now, and I think they were one of the original, I want to say around the same time, or maybe even before the Astro tools became popular. So again, I mean, regardless, you're going to find the similarities between all of them, and I would have to say they're pretty much the same. So if I was in the market today, I'd probably buy, you know, whatever was the best price option, and as well as warranty. That is very important, right? Because you're investing tools, warranty should be pretty much covered with a lot of the stuff. But obviously if you go with cheaper brands, you know, that kind of goes out the door. But anyways, back to this. So 15-piece set, 10 all the way through 24. Okay, focus, there you go. So again, that is what I love about these sets. Coming in at, you know, starting from the lower end all the way to the higher end of 24, you get a lot of coverage, just like the other sets that I've gone through already. So again, that's one thing that is one of my categories or criteria that when I'm shopping for sockets is, one, how many sockets does it come with, and two, are there any skips? Now there are some sets that I may purchase that just has skips in there, just for the convenience of it, depending on what the setup is, right? So if I'm going for a mobile setup, or I'm going for a junkyard bag setup, somewhere where weight is a contributing factor, then I may just say, okay, I just need the common sizes, so that way I'm not lugging around all this weight, especially like in a backpack scenario where you're having a tool bag or something, or a tool tote where you don't want to carry a lot of weight. But for something in my toolbox, on my daily box here, I want the complete set. I want all the sizes. That way, if I need it, I open the drawer, I have it, and I'm good to go. Okay, so chrome moly, black oxide finish. Overall, great set. Construction is really good. For half-inch drive, these things work great. I prefer to use them in applications of suspension work, especially lower ball joints. Especially on the compact to mid-size sedans where your ball joint bolts and fasteners are underneath the control arm. So let me grab a control arm real quick. Alright, so we have a control arm here, and as you can see, usually the ball joint will mount onto here, okay, and then the bolts will come in through the back side. And usually there's one bolt here and then 2 nuts on this side, so the ball joint will have the 2 nuts going down that way, put the nuts on this side, and it works out that way. But usually when you have the vehicle jacked up, you're pretty limited in space underneath here, between here and the ground. So this is where the stubby sockets come into place. So let's say if I have, usually on most of these foreign Japanese cars, they're about a 17. So you pair that up with a stubby impact like this, or even whether it's if you don't have coil, you have air, it's usually about similar in size. This is what you're going to come up with, and this is all the space that you'll need. Okay, and you get onto that fastener, and you're able to extract that bolt out with ease. Okay. All right, so this out of the way. Okay, overall construction, really nice. You know, standard cuts. Your chamfers in there. It is pretty much, it's got a the beveled edging on there. So let's see here. Let's get this sized up. As you can see, it fits pretty well. Now this one's a little bit deeper on the bolt head, but that size right there. So again, overall, really good construction. So, now it does have a hex end on it. So what that means is you get to put a wrench on there if you want to create a little bit lower profile. So let's get one out. All right. So now, as far as the size of the hex on them, it's size 22 millimeter. So as you can see there, so you can use the box end or the open end. Either way, what you're doing is essentially creating a lower profile to it in addition to what you already have. So if you were to stick this onto a ratchet, you know, that profile is going to be a lot thicker. So let's get a caliper here so that way y'all can kind of see the difference. Okay, I'm measuring in at 457. I'm on the zero out. 57.83 millimeters. Okay. I still need to get a battery for that thing. Now, if you do it on a wrench, now obviously you can get a ratcheting wrench. I don't have a 22 millimeter ratcheting wrench. 27.6. So you're looking at half the thickness of what it was. Okay, that's going to give you a ton of space if you're in a low clearance area that you're working on. So that is the bonus to these stubby sockets. That's one thing I enjoy about using them. You're in those scenarios where you just need that clearance, and they're going to work great. Now, obviously, if you're going to use them a lot, I would highly suggest getting a 22 ratcheting wrench so that way you can apply to it. Now, I know Astro has the nano ratchet as well that goes with their sockets, so you know you can probably be a lot cheaper. Now, I bought this set way before theirs came out, and as well as with that ratchet. So, but again, I'd imagine that you could probably use the same ratchet on these as well if you already have these sockets. Probably the same thing with the Quins and the Huskies. So wouldn't hurt to try. I may end up trying to do that too as well. But again, so 6-point design. Now, as far as the applications, like I've said, low clearance is when I primarily use them. I don't use them often. Generally, I'll try to use one of these sizes, the shallows, the mids, or the deeps first, depending on how much clearance I have. If I can get a shallow on there, I'm going to probably do that, just because you get a little bit more weight to it. And when it comes to braking fasteners and that torque on them, having more weight on the socket is a key factor into that. So, that plays a lot with it. I mean, there's times that I've had to try to loosen a bolt on a ball joint, and this impact just couldn't get it off. I ended up having to, get a long ratchet and just taking it off by hand, just because this socket doesn't have enough weight on there or whatever. So again, between the socket weight and then the impact itself, you're only going to get so much torque out of it. So, it's not going to work for every application is what I'm saying, basically. But now I don't remember exactly when I bought these. As far as long-term usage, I've had no issues with them. I only use a few sizes, common sizes. Here's 14, here's 17, 18, 21. So again, suspension 24. I'm not using 10 or anything. I mean, the only time I use 10, there is some usage on it, but that's out of convenience, right? I already got my half-inch stubby out probably at the time. I've got this tray of sockets out there. And you know, I don't want to lug a 3/8 impact and a half-inch. I'll just take the half-inch out there and some adapters and extensions or whatever, and just zip off whatever I'm working on and just continue going on. So it's a lot easier that way. And that's why, like I said, I enjoy the full sets, because you get all the sizes. You don't have to, you know, get a 3/8 10 mil here and then a 3/8 impact and then pair it up with the half-inch and the half-inch sockets. You know, you're creating more tools to kind of keep up with, as opposed to just one power tool, your row of sockets, and then just be done with it. Okay, so yeah, 2 thumbs up on it. I mean, there's nothing really bad I'd like to say. Now, the only thing probably is future-wise. I know these here, as far as you can see, it's got the logo on there, the sizing, and then your part number, chrome moly. Now, these are the Taiwan sets. I don't know in the future if they're going to go to China. I know they're, like I said, and there's other videos out there where Sunex is going to China to produce their stuff now. As far as the quality and the QC, who knows how it's going to be, but it's kind of a shame to hear that, because I mean, with Taiwanese products, you're getting pretty decent quality for the price that you're paying, and you're not having to pay heavy prices, especially for the mechanics out there that, you know, don't have a lot of funding or starting up, or just don't want to spend a lot on tools, but they still want a decent quality tool to make a living, and that's kind of one of the things. So if with them going to China, I don't know what the, sorry, this dang gnat flying around. I don't know what the deal is going to be with that, if they're, you know, their branding is just going to go downhill. Generally, when you see a tool brand start, you know, having their tools produced in China, the quality starts going down and their business starts going down as well too. So, I mean, if that's the case, that's pretty sad to hear. So, all right, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. I hope y'all been enjoying the series. Like I said, this is episode number 4, Sunex Tools Stubby Impact Socket Set. We're slowly wrapping up the half-inch drives and the impact drawer. So we got a couple more sets to go. We're gonna get through them, and then we'll move on to the 3/8. But again, appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, y'all have a good weekend and take care. God bless.